British people will spend, on average, 6 full months of their lives just talking about the weather. That's an incredible amount of time dedicated to discussing clouds, rain, and sunshine. But what if I told you that most of the time, we're not actually talking about the weather at all? Hi everyone, I'm your host Sarah, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the secret language of weather talk, and along the way, we'll learn some fantastic natural English that you can use every single day. You see, I always used to think that talking about the weather was just boring. It seemed like something people did when they had nothing else to say. But I was looking at it all wrong. It's not just small talk. It's a complex, unwritten social code. It's a tool we use to connect with each other. Think about standing at a bus stop next to a stranger. It can feel a little awkward, right? The silence can be uncomfortable. So, what's the easiest way to connect with that person, safely and quickly? You look up at the sky and say, "Looks like we're in for some heavy rain later." By the way, heavy rain is a common collocation. It just means a lot of rain falling at once. For example, "We can't play outside because of the heavy rain." Suddenly, you and the stranger have something in common. You are sharing an experience. You've created a tiny, temporary bond. This is perhaps the most powerful function of weather talk, and that's to break the ice. This is a wonderful idiom. To break the ice means to say or do something to make people feel more relaxed when they first meet. For instance, he told a funny joke to break the ice. So, talking about the weather is the perfect universal icebreaker. It's neutral, it's safe, and it's something everyone can have an opinion on. But what happens next is where the real magic is. It's not about agreeing on the forecast, it's about agreeing on the feeling. Let's imagine it's been raining for 3 days straight. The sky is gray, everything is wet, and you're starting to feel a bit down. You see your neighbor, and you say, "This weather is just miserable, isn't it?" Here, miserable means making you feel very unhappy or uncomfortable. For example, "I had a miserable time at the party because I didn't know anyone." Your neighbor will almost certainly agree. "Oh, it's terrible. I haven't seen the sun in days." In that moment, you're not exchanging meteorological data. You are sharing a feeling. You are validating each other's emotions. This shared complaint actually makes you feel closer. It builds community. The opposite is also true. Imagine the first warm, sunny day after a long winter. You walk outside and the air is just perfect. You might turn to a colleague and say, "What a glorious day." Glorious, in this context, means beautiful or wonderful. For example, "We had a glorious view of the mountains from our hotel room." It's an expression of shared joy. And it's a simple invitation for someone else to share that positive feeling with you. This simple act can completely brighten up your day. The phrasal verb brighten up means to become happier or more cheerful. For example, her face brightened up when she saw the present. And interestingly, the weather can also brighten up, meaning it becomes sunnier. So, you can see, weather talk is actually a conversation about our feelings. But it's not just about emotions. It also reveals a lot about our culture, especially in places with very changeable weather, like the UK. The weather here is famously unpredictable. Unpredictable means you can't know what will happen in the future. For example, the bus schedule is very unpredictable. Because our weather changes so often, we've developed a rich and specific vocabulary to describe it. We don't just have hot and cold. We have so much more. For example, on a hot summer day, You might hear someone say it's scorching. This is a great word. Scorching means extremely hot. For example, be careful, the sand is scorching. Or maybe it's that kind of weather where the air feels thick and wet. That's when you'd say it's humid. Humid describes air that has a high level of water vapor. For example, it's hard to breathe when the weather is so humid. The same goes for cold weather. It might not be freezing, but there's a definite cold feeling in the air. That's a perfect time to say it's a bit chilly. Chilly simply means a little too cold to be comfortable. For example, you should wear a jacket. It's getting chilly outside. This is different from the feeling of a biting wind. That's a collocation we use for a very sharp, cold wind that feels like it's cutting your skin. For example, the biting wind made my eyes water. This variety lets us be very specific. Think about rain. Is it just starting to rain with very small drops? That's called drizzling. Drizzling is a verb that means to rain in very light, fine drops. For instance, it was only drizzling, so we didn't need an umbrella. But what if the rain is coming down very hard and fast? Then you'd say it's pouring down. That's a really common phrasal verb. Pouring down means raining heavily. For example, I got completely wet because it was pouring down. And then, what's the one thing everyone wants when it's raining hard? We want it to stop. The phrasal verb for that is let up. To let up means to become less strong or to stop. For instance, let's wait here until the rain lets up. This incredible variety shows how important the topic is in our daily lives. We even use the weather forecast as a daily ritual. The forecast is a statement about what the weather is likely to be. For example, the forecast said it will be sunny tomorrow. We check it to plan our day, our clothes, and even our mood. When the forecast says the weather will finally clear up, it can make us feel so much better. Clear up is a phrasal verb meaning the clouds and rain disappear. For example, I hope the sky will clear up this afternoon. But now we have to ask another question. If we have all these specific words, are they only for talking about the weather itself? Not at all. And this is where it gets really fascinating. We use weather vocabulary to talk about everything in our lives, especially our health and our emotions. Have you ever heard someone say they are feeling a bit under the weather? This is a classic idiom. To be under the weather means you are feeling slightly ill. For example, I'm not going to work today. I'm feeling under the weather. It's a gentle, indirect way to say you're not feeling your best. It's much softer than saying, I'm sick. This connection between weather and our internal state is so deep in the English language. A person can have a sunny disposition. An angry person might storm out of a room. And when we need to relax, we want to cool down. The phrasal verb cool down means to become calmer or less excited. For example, he took a few deep breaths to cool down after the argument. We also use weather to describe seasons and times of the year. Think about a beautiful autumn day. The summer heat is gone, the air is clean, and it feels fresh. A perfect word for this is crisp. Crisp describes air that is cool, dry, and fresh. For example, I love going for a walk in the crisp autumn air. We see a similar thing with temperature in general. We might talk about a sudden drop in temperature, which is a collocation for when it gets colder quickly. For example, there was a sharp drop in temperature last night. Even our plans can be described with weather words. When a problem or an opportunity suddenly appears, we might say it has come up. The phrasal verb come up means something happens or appears unexpectedly. For example, I have to work late because something has come up. You can almost imagine a cloud appearing on the horizon. So, the next time you hear someone talking about the weather, listen closely. Are they really just talking about the sky? Or are they trying to break the ice? Are they sharing a feeling of frustration about the miserable rain, or sharing joy about a glorious day? It's a secret language hidden in plain sight. Learning to speak it isn't about memorizing the forecast. It's about understanding the human need for connection. It's about finding a safe, shared space to build a bridge with another person, even for just a moment. It's a subtle art. You're not just saying, "It's cold." You're saying, "I'm here, you're here, and we're experiencing this together." In a world that can often feel disconnected, that's a powerful thing. Perhaps the best kind of weather is mild weather. Not too hot, not too cold. Mild just means gentle and not extreme. For example, we had a very mild winter this year with no snow. And in many ways, that's what weather talk is. It's a mild, gentle way to start a conversation and build a human connection. So next time you're not sure what to say, just look outside the window. So, the next time you talk about the weather, I hope you'll see it as more than just small talk, but as a clever way to connect with the people around you. If you enjoyed exploring this topic and want to keep learning natural English with me, please subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. We explore all kinds of fascinating topics here, from science and psychology to success and real stories, all designed to help you master the English language. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.